Hello again, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of our lesson about elections. Part 1 discussed everything, how a candidate goes from the primary all the way to the general election. Now you're going to put that into practice. This lesson is going to take place among our classroom and the other 5th grade classrooms. And what we're going to do is we're going to divide our classrooms into 2 parts. So it will be 2 parties. Myself and the classroom next door will be one party, and then the other 2 classrooms will be the other party. So let's look at what we need to do. Part 2, introduction, kind of explains what's going on. 2 classes are going to be known as the C candidates, and they'll be represented by a shark, dolphin, whale, and a squid. The other 2 classes are going to be known as the land animal candidates, which are going to be a bear, a colt, a panther, and a deer. As it says right here, for complexity's sake, we're only going to have the 2 parties. There could be a 3rd party candidate, but we're not going to get into that right now. So, what we're going to do is we're going to hold our primaries. The 2 classrooms will hold 1 primary, the other 2 classrooms will hold the other primary, and they will whittle their candidates down to 1 candidate, and those 2 candidates will square off, and we will vote to see who's going to represent the 5th grade classrooms. We'll also need access to Google Hangouts, because the classrooms will debate which candidate they want. Once the candidates are chosen, then the 2 classrooms, or the 2 pair of classrooms, will debate each other of why one candidate should be chosen over the other. And then finally we're going to wrap it up using SurveyMonkey to vote for a candidate. And what's really cool about this is, even though I may be in a classroom, for example, that is a C candidate, I don't necessarily have to vote for that candidate. If I want to vote for the land animal candidate, I may do so, and vice versa. So let's see, the next part will be our rubric, and this is pretty much something that your teacher and myself will be looking at, how we're going to grade this portion of the lesson. So what's your quality of work? Let's see, are you impressing us with your work? Are you putting some effort into it? We're also looking at, are you working with others? How well are you working with others right now? You're going to be divided into subgroups within the class to talk about different different candidates. For example, since there's 4 candidates, there's going to be 4 different groups per classroom. And you'll use Google Hangouts to talk to the shark candidates, the group that's representing the shark candidates in the other classroom, and you'll discuss why your candidate should be great and why you should pick that one over all the other ones, and so on and so forth. What's the attitude? Great attitudes make good work, so let's keep our attitudes positive. And what's your contribution? Everyone needs to be actively participating in this, which means there should be nobody just sitting idly by and just watching everyone else. So let's move on. Alright, and like before, now we're going to get into our primaries. Now we got our host of candidates that we need to whittle down into just 1. So we'll look at our primaries. And here's your Google Hangouts tab. We're going to assign times that we would like you guys to meet together. It might be during class time. There will be at least 1 time that you'll be meeting outside of school, so keep that in mind. Here are our candidates for the C candidates. Again, this is held by SurveyMonkey. When the time comes, this option will be available to you, and we'll click on that tab, and it's pretty simple. All we got to do is we just got to vote for a candidate, hit done. You vote once, that's good. Same thing for the land animal candidates as well. So you'll click on the land animal candidates tab. It'll bring you up to SurveyMonkey, and then you will choose those candidates, or choose one of the 4. Now, we'll go to our general election. General election, now it's debating between two classes on one side and two classes on the other. As it says right here, the top candidate from each party has moved on. There will be a second and final debate, which will be held in school. For this portion of the assignment, the class must debate why should so-and-so candidate be elected over so-and-so candidate. Okay, so each classroom will vote in both elections, so everyone will vote in the primary and everyone will vote in the general election. For the final vote, we'll click on the link down here when the teacher provides it. And for general purpose right now for this, I have chosen the bear or the shark. Click which one you'd like, hit done, and we will find out who our winning candidate is. And then finally, here's our conclusion. So after all of this is done, you've gone through parts 1 and 2. We know who's going to be elected. I want you to reflect on what this means.